All right. We're live in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in lovely Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Starting on time. Monday morning. Kicking off this week right. You excited?
Oh, I had a great breakfast.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
You had the fuckboy scramble?
It's changed a little.
Okay. Talk to me about it. Was that a cliffhanger episode?
No.
To be continued. The story of the fuckboy scramble adjustment.
So, as I've said, Tug Coker filled up my fridge
Yeah.
like a true gentleman that he is and left
Yeah.
a $100 gift card from Trader Joe's. He added some new elements that I thought, hey, this would be good for the fuckboy scramble. Some peppers. I didn't usually do peppers.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, in a scramble?
Little
Why not?
The mini heirloom tomatoes.
Sure.
So these have all been added, and they've replaced the mushrooms.
Ooh. Okay. I'm not a big mushroom guy personally. I mean, you've made me the fuckboy scramble and it was delicious. But I mean, if I had to choose between peppers and tomatoes or mushrooms, I would go peppers and tomatoes all the time. A little color.
Yeah, so we're going little yellow and green peppers right now. Although I prefer red. I should have gotten the red peppers, but it's a little change. I'm
Little summer vibes. A
yeah.
little color. You've been in Walt's fresh garden, getting a little color vegetables in there.
Oh, there's nothing like a fresh garden vegetable though.
No, there's not.
Because we had green peppers this summer, and you eat the oh my god, it's the best.
So strong breakfast this morning.
Well, I just
Did you have hot green tea with it?
I did. I had a hot green tea with it. I think if you eat a good, like healthy, yet hearty breakfast, like I've been doing basically every day, minus maybe 2 days since I've been back. I've been back 2 weeks now. It's a great way to start your day.
Yeah. Get up, make breakfast, make your bed, have coffee. Isn't that like the Jordan Peterson? Like, make your bed every day.
Oh yeah, I agree. I wake up, I make my bed. Now there's not much to make now.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a massive heat wave.
Yeah. Just put the sheet back in the right spot.
I saw Death Valley. It might be the highest recorded temperature ever. 130 degrees.
Wow. Yeah, it is hot.
It is.
It is. This is. I mean, it's not the hottest I've ever felt it in LA, but this will be our peak for the year for sure.
Yeah, for the next week.
Yeah.
The water's not that warm though. I looked at the lifeguard tower. Still only 68.
It's nice. It's a nice temp though.
Nice, but we
Yeah.
probably get 70, 71, the warmest
Yeah.
of the year.
Which we'll get from this heat.
Yeah.
It'll jump up, but it's great when the water's in the high 60s and the air is cold. You go out there, and you know when I surf, it's like being in the hot air and the cold water. It's like perfect.
I have it's stingray season right now for us out here, and
That's the warm water too.
I had a little stingray PTSD the other day when I went in. I went to the edge of Palisades in Malibu to the beach Friday, and as I was getting in the water, it's the first time I was like I just do not want to get stung by a stingray
Yeah.
today.
It's amazing. Knock on fake wood that I have never gotten stung by a stingray here in all of my years.
I can't believe that
And
as a surfer.
Not even just as a surf. Like I used to teach surf. I mean, still do from time to time. Teach surf lessons where I'm literally just standing in the whitewash for an hour, walking around.
Oh, that's
Like hours at a time of just walking in the shallows.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I've never gotten stung.
I can't
'Cause
believe
I
it
know
either.
people just walking for a minute into the water.
Yeah. I know. Well, it looks like my Reds are getting stung by
Yeah.
the COVID
By the
stingray.
COVID. Where they have, was it one guy?
One guy, like this is what I don't understand. So one guy gets it. They cancel the rest of the series with the Pirates. They were going to possibly do the doubleheader today to make up those 2 games because they both had the day off. They're pushing that back because they're saying there's delays. I still don't understand the delays.
The delays in what? The testing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Because
understand.
the NBA's been using the spit saliva stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at me like I have an answer for you. I have no idea.
I just don't understand. So, like, one guy gets it, and they instantly have to stop?
I guess it's just a matter of that. Now we have to test every single person, right? Every single person on the team, staff, whatever, because that guy's had contact. So I imagine that they're not rolling out their results to them. They're not like, okay, we're through this many. So I assume that it takes a while to get the results for, how many people do you think have to get tested after 50 people minimum?
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at 25 guys on the team, staff, trainers, clubbies, even with the skeleton crew that a lot of these teams are working with. It's got to be 50 people.
Sure.
So
I've never seen a sports season, and maybe I'm wrong in this. I'd love to hear from people on this via YouTube or social media or Reddit. I've never seen a pro league have less hype or less people care about it. Am I wrong? I see no one talking about baseball, minus occasional like Astros stuff.
Maybe it's just I have a different sort of Twitter feed built, but I see people talking about baseball, but it's certainly not with the excitement of a normal season, and it's certainly not on the level that we've seen from the NBA restart. It's certainly not even on the level of, like, honestly, I don't even follow a lot of like golf people at all. Kevin Power and Matt Janella. Like, I follow two people, and Tug occasionally and Bo Blaha occasionally. But like the amount of people that I saw even when that PGA Championship was on, that either through a retweet or whatever were sharing golf stuff, is above baseball. So baseball is definitely down. I see a lot of baseball stuff still, but I think the gap between a normal year and this year is probably the greatest gap for baseball. As opposed to, and the reason I brought up golf is I feel like, for example, golf was switched. Like I was seeing more of it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more. Maybe I'm not seeing more NBA stuff, but like I don't feel like it's fallen off a ton.
I agree. I think the gap with baseball this year is so massive. And I've been watching basically every Reds game for the most part. It's not that I'm not watching. It's just I don't – again, you probably definitely follow more baseball guys than me, but I just think people don't give a shit. And it doesn't help, I think, that NBA is playing all day long.
Yeah, which I think there's games on starting now.
In about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Games will start.
Were we planning on having that on in the background just in case?
I could put it on.
Yeah, why not?
You know me, though.
Yeah.
I get distracted easily.
Yeah. I mean, the COVID, I mean, when you look at the NBA, not just in the fandom and all, but the bubble, like the NBA is for sure leading the charge in how to handle this whole thing.
And NHL. We got to get NHL credit.
And the NHL. But, I mean, the NBA is playing games all day. Everybody's in a bubble. We haven't had anybody miss a game. We haven't had any, like, we certainly haven't had any games delayed because of this. Now we have the report that came out, the NBA and Yale, like, came together and are working on a, less intrusive, cheaper COVID test.
Well, I think they're already using it.
Yeah.
It's the spit test.
But I guess I mean the NBA spent money so that the research could be done so that their players could use this test. But now it's going to help other people. Like there will be regular folks will be able to get this test for cheaper and less intrusive than they were, the nasal swab which you got.
Oh, it's the worst.
And the stick to sports crowds just don't know what to do.
You love saying that.
Because I just think it's such a ridiculous state that we live in where everybody wants sports to happen. Everybody. And there's these people who exist out there that are literally like accusing folks of not wanting. Like, let me ask you something. Why would the guy who runs the Big Ten not want football to happen? Why would he not want it to happen? It's his only job is to run the Big Ten athletics.
Yeah.
He doesn't want football to happen. They make the majority of their money playing football. He doesn't want it to happen.
It's funny you say that. Even new article that came out in the Wall Street Journal with football not happening. More inside, like insider information on the numbers, which proves your point. I agree. Like, guys, they want it to happen.
They want it to happen. They're just not doing it for what they feel is safety.
Yeah.
And there's so much. I mean, first of all, we live in such a litigious society, especially here in the United States. For every Justin Fields or whoever who's like making you sign a petition, there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 people who, if their kid gets sick playing college football because if he can't skip the year, he loses eligibility, blah, 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 he's going to sue the shit out of somebody. Can you imagine being the guy who runs the Big Ten, playing your football season, having some guy get corona, survive, never have a sense of taste again, and just be like, I'm a 300-pound offensive lineman. Tasting food is the only thing I live for. I'm suing you for all of the money.
So here's some quick numbers.
How much would you sue for if you lost your sense of taste? I'd sue for everything. I'd sue for all the. I'd calculate how much I spend on food every day, and I'd triple it.
Millions.
Yeah.
If you lose your sense of taste,
what do you live for?
I was just gonna say, why are you eating?
Yeah. You're just gonna be a protein shake,
and not
3 protein shakes a day guy.
And is there anything better than smelling a girl? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, you're lying next to a girl naked, or you're kissing a girl. I mean, you take away that.
Whatever, Corona bro. You're a Corona bro. 99.8% of people survive, you Corona bro.
It's the dumbest term I've ever heard.
It's just people that want to trigger people. The idea that somebody's in charge of these sports leagues and doesn't want to play.
Well, again, I do think they could probably find a way to play safely, maybe.
Sure.
But there's a lot of risk, again, when it's not a professional league. And what's happening now with the colleges and the university presidents is that they're being forced to confront this term amateur, which anytime you see if you follow any sports commentator or any sort of person in the media, and then they're not mentioning it, they're, again, missing the point. Because everything that you see is like, well, we really can't force them to play because you're bringing up liability, which is so true. There's so much more liability when they're amateurs, in quotes.
It's not their livelihood.
Exactly. So there's a risk-reward with an NFL player, an NHL player, NBA player. It's different because it is their livelihood. But they want them to play. Listen to some of these numbers. Michigan, this is just Michigan last year, made $56 million from sports ticket sales, primarily from football. They earned another $28 million from donations on premium seats on top of that. Again, mainly from football. So right there is $84 million in 1 year.
Yeah.
You think Michigan?
Yeah, the idea that the Michigan president or athletic director is just lighting $85 million on fire because he's some sort of liberal Biden supporter who is trying to prove Karen wrong is so fucking ludicrous that you have to be a brain-dead monkey to believe that.
Yeah. And this spells it out. This article does, every Pac-12 and Big Ten school, since those are the two conferences that have decided to cancel, it spells it out what they're going to lose. Like, Oregon, with just not playing football, just one sport, loses $50 million, guaranteed, of a $130 million budget. So that's a third of the entire athletic budget, more than a third, that's just slashed.
Yep.
These guys want to play.
Yeah. The players want to play. The athletic directors want to play. The coaches want to play. The guys who run the conferences want to play. But again, they're amateurs, and there's liability.
There's too much liability, and this is where it gets so convoluted. And not only just the smelling thing, and
oh, God forbid one guy dies.
that's what I was gonna say.
That guy owns the Big Ten. That guy's family is in.
Yeah.
You're just playing in the Deborah and John Carmichael football conference because they own an entire conference of football because their son, who is 380 pounds and is on the verge of death, just practicing in August in 105-degree weather with no water already. Now he's died. Now he's coronavirus. How many times a year do we hear about some football player dropping dead during summer practice? Just dropping dead.
It happens.
Because, and this is not a criticism of their health at all. Like, the reason you become an elite lineman is because your quickness is just unheard of in relation to your weight. Like, you're a gigantic person, but you retain the speed and quickness of a smaller person. That's how you become an elite lineman.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that those people are not at risk of dying on a football field when it's too goddamn hot, or dying on a football field should they get corona. We always talk about, like, oh, if you're a high risk, stay home. You're elderly, stay home during this. What if you're obese?
Well,
What if you have a heart condition based on just your size alone?
well, that's actually considered a
No shit.
condition.
So literally 35% to 40% of every single football team that walks the face of the earth has a pre-existing condition of being a fat person.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that they don't have elite hand and foot speed they're quicker than me. But they are obese.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, from a health standpoint, from a statistical standpoint.
And the other
they're
thing
obese.
is, we want football.
That's the thing. I'm not. It's interesting seeing a lot of the sentiment saying people want to be proven right, which I do think people at this point, since this is in a way political, want to be proven right.
But that's the thing. It shouldn't be political, right?
It shouldn't be.
Just saying, like, we want football to happen, but we totally understand it not happening because of liability doesn't make us Antifa.
Yeah, I'm 100%. If they want to play, I'm down. Like, cool. I'm going to watch the games. But I'm just saying I see from the vantage point of the universities. They're also looking at it long term, like you're saying. If one guy dies, like, it's just it's a PR nightmare.
And that's also, it's a great example. Like, college football is a microcosm of what's going on in our country and in the world in general. People are like, these lockdowns are unconstitutional. These masks are stomping on my freedom and blah, blah, blah. It's like one person, two people, five people in every state are making these decisions. Who wants to be the person responsible for that? How many deaths are you, as a person, as a human being, just as Andy Ruther, as Joe Prano, as a person out there, are you willing to have on your hands? Like, if you get a letter and you say, my husband died because you decided it was time to reopen bars, restaurants, music venues, you got to live with that the rest of your life, and no one wants that responsibility.
Which, look, at a certain point, you do have to open up. I also get that. I try to see it from various angles. It's just not that easy of an issue.
It's not that easy of an issue to ask somebody to make that decision.
And it's not that easy of an issue when you try to see it from various perspectives. Have I been very unhappy how it's been handled in California? 100%. Have I been critical of the politicians? I also know it's a shitty position to be in.
Exactly. How do you make that decision? How are you getting information from scientists who are being like, we don't care about the economy at all. That's not our job. We're scientists.
Yeah.
You want economists? Talk to economists. You want to know about whatever? Talk to them. But as scientists, we're saying this. How do you then go, I hear you, but I'm doing the opposite. It's a very difficult position to be in.
Yeah. And also, I understand from a economic perspective that people can't go hungry. People can't not pay their bills, rent, mortgage. Like, it's
But that's why college football is not in that discussion.
sure.
Because none of these guys are paying their rent, mortgage, or whatever by
Yeah.
playing college football.
Well, look, Oklahoma just returned. The Big 12 is playing. 9 players tested positive. So Lincoln Riley sent those guys all back to their hometowns, and 9 came back positive. So I don't know what that means for them. The season's not supposed to start for a little over a month. I don't know if they're going to have to all quarantine, but not a good sign, as this potential season starts and plays out. I'm going to pose a question to you, though. Do you think we finish or have some sort of college football season with those 3 conferences?
I think that we will have. It seems to me like if they've gotten this far, that they're going to try to go for it. Do they finish? I don't know. Do we have, an MLB-like situation where games are getting canceled? Possibly. But I also feel like, we've seen it from Dabo, and we've seen it from these douchey college coaches who have basically been profiting off of.
To be honest, it's the SEC. It's Dabo, it's Ed Orgeron,
Right.
It's Nick Saban.
But I'm saying all of these guys who they make a living profiting off of kids not getting paid to play sports and getting CTE and all that stuff, like the money that the coaches make as compared to the players. And again, I want to repeat, as always, I am not in favor of college athletes getting paid. The idea that these guys would suddenly care is ludicrous. Like, I just see Nick Saban being like, "This guy's got COVID. Next man up."
Sure.
That's football.
Yeah.
Next man up.
Which, if you're going to do it, do it. I don't see them finishing these seasons. I don't. I could be wrong. I don't even know if there's going to be fans. There's really not much out there as far as how that's going to be handled. What is college football without? You talk about the fan experience.
Yeah, you talk about as compared to the NFL.
The tailgating. Oh my God.
Fans are like an incalculable number more important to college football than they are to pro football, to basketball, to baseball, to
the fan experience and the whole atmosphere on a college campus and the vibe on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning is so vital for that game. I just don't know how you have Michigan play in an empty 110,000 seat stadium.
Yeah.
It's just different than the NFL. It's just different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the college experience.
I mean, it's a matter of it being your student body that's there. It's a matter of being your alumni that's there. I mean, you look at schools in the SEC. Take Ole Miss, for example. Ole Miss is more famous for
the Grove
than it is their football success.
100%.
Like, when's the last time they were like good, competitive, national championship contenders? Not my lifetime.
I mean, when Eli was there, I don't know if they made a major bowl. They might have gotten 9-2.
Yeah. They maybe made a major bowl, but I don't know if they made, a Big 5 bowl.
Yeah. It's true, though. The experience. I've been to a lot of college football games, and to me, that's what I actually would probably prefer the overall. I do, actually. The overall college football experience, I 100% prefer than the NFL Sunday. Just because, like you're saying, it's so set up for tailgating.
I always say that. I watch so little college football during the year on TV, but I'd say about once a year I go to a college football game because it's like, oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, basically every year since we've been doing this show, we've done a UCLA game. We've done the Rose Bowl. We've done, I've done Notre Dame, SC a few times since I've been in LA. Like, it's an experience, and like you said, it's for the whole thing.
Yeah.
You show up. I would say I show up 90 minutes earlier to a college football game than I do an NFL game.
And in a way, the game is kind of just a
Yeah.
bonus.
Yeah.
You're almost with college football. You're almost going for the scene, the drinking games, the cornhole, the grilling out. The bonus is, hey, we get to watch guys play football too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many college football games I've been to where you roll into the game late because you're kicking back beers.
Yeah.
Brandon, you're looking a little scruffy today, man.
I know. Tell me about it. You know why? And I know what you're setting up here for. I have so many fantastic Harry's razors, but I'm out of Harry's shaving cream.
Ooh.
I don't know how our stash is doing over here, but
I
I might have to go to the pharmacy for the first time in 5 years to get shaving cream because our boys at Harry's.
I'll see what I got in the Harry's vault.
Because here's the fact of the matter, Andy. I'm not going down to the little corner store and getting some other brand shaving cream. I went down to the little market the other day. They didn't have Harry's.
Yeah.
You got to go to a name brand place. It's not going to have it at the little Venice bodega. I'm not about to start shaving with some other shaving cream at this point. I've come too far.
Yeah.
I've come too far.
I feel ya. I was just looking at the nice Harry's. They have a nice display at Target.
Nice.
Guys, you save a lot of money. And Joe's talking about how we've been with Harry's now for years. The best part is you save a lot of money. How much could you save in 1 year by switching to Harry's? Listen to this. Enough to buy 26 cups of coffee in New York City. Enough for 3 deep dish pizza dinners in Chicago. Enough to pay 6 months of your Netflix subscription. All these great things you're going to save money on. So right now, get a Harry's trial set delivered right to your doorstep by going to harrys.com/dirty. And the good part is 1% of proceeds from Harry's are even set aside for nonprofit organizations devoted to helping provide access to better mental health care for men and veterans.
That's a fantastic cause right there.
Putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for you guys, Harry's.
Yeah.
I love Harry's.
Listeners of Dirty Sports, once again, can redeem their trial set at harrys.com/dirty. He'll be done in a minute. You can't close that window today. You'll get a weighted ergonomic handle for a firm grip, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating stripper and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel with aloe to keep your skin hydrated, and also a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry and easy on the go. Once again, go to harrys.com/dirty to start shaving and saving today. Yeah, man, it's just too hot.
Okay.
I think I'll be done in a minute.
All right, that's fine with me.
I feel like I know the route.
You're more concerned with that than I am normally.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's when you don't have air conditioning. Not that you and I really need it.
He's done.
I've lived here so long. I know the routine. Oh,
Now he's switched to the chainsaw.
I know the routine.
He put the smaller nozzle on. Now he's blowing the smaller particles.
Yeah. R.I.P. pool volleyball.
Is it done?
Well, there was a big debate about playing, and I said I'm not playing.
Because why? Because of Corona?
I think it's rude to everyone living here.
In what regard?
Because you're not supposed to be. Well, first of all, we're not supposed to have non-tenants
In the pool.
in the pool.
Okay.
And then to me, it's like, I think it's as much as I don't give a shit about this place anymore. I think it's disrespectful to the other residents
To be using the pool, to
play pool volleyball.
To take up the majority of the pool space.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've done that in the past because I think these days.
I think it's different because of COVID.
Yeah, there's more people in the pool. You can't just take over the whole pool.
Yeah.
I was like, not for the risk of sharing it though. I mean, chlorine definitely kills that thing.
Yeah, but it's more of, like I said.
It's also a heat wave. Tons of people in the pool.
Although yesterday was pretty dead.
In the pool area.
Yeah. The NBA playoffs have started, Joe.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. I am surprised that they're doing the NBA playoffs during the day like they are.
You want me to turn this on?
Yes, I do. I am surprised that they're doing like the noon starts and the 10 a.m. What is it? 10 a.m. start for 10:30 start for one of these games today. I'm surprised that they're doing that. I thought I think it makes sense, and I think it was great for the regular season. But I'm surprised that they're not waiting. I mean, I know a lot of us are all at home. Certainly, you and I are at home, but I'm surprised that they're doing these playoff games early. And the people who think coronavirus is a hoax can't wait to tell us that no one watched the Jazz Nuggets 10 a.m. start. Because people hate black people and Black Lives Mattering. And stop forcing it on us. Stop forcing us to care about human rights.
So it's just starting now.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets are going with their old school. Would this be 70s or 80s jerseys?
90s even. I mean, it went even into the 90s.
Did it?
Yeah, early 90s. I love it. I love the.
Who do you like in this series?
I like Denver. I think the West is going to be wild. I think all of these series are going to be pretty good, but I like Denver. Denver's just been too consistent, too good all year. I think that they are peaking, not peaking as a team, but like in the last couple years, they remind me of the Braves of the NBA. Like they were great last year, and they were probably too young to be as good as they were. But as they keep maturing, they're just going to keep getting better because they have a lot of their guys locked up, and they have a lot of their guys locked up on decent deals. I like Denver, but I think every series in the West is going to be exciting.
I agree.
Everyone, including the Lakers, including the Clippers.
I would not be shocked about the Western Conference if anything happened. Like if the Lakers lost to the Blazers, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah. I'd be shocked.
I wouldn't
be blown away. I would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that happened." But yeah, I think the bubble is an X factor. I think anything is possible. I honestly, on both sides, but I think that there's a little bit more. I think the Wild West is going to live up to its name. I think there's more chance for upsets in the West than there are in the East.
Yeah.
Although, again, I don't think anybody is safe at this point. I'm just so excited.
We're going to do some live commentary during these games, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
On YouTube.
I can't wait.
There's just so many games all day long. Michael Porter Jr. has really stepped it up in the bubble.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The bubble is a factor in every series for the playoffs from here to the end.
Yeah.
The bubble's a factor. There are guys that are playing completely differently in the bubble than they were outside of the bubble. And again, it's this small gym feel.
Yeah.
There are guys that forever in the history of basketball, there's always been guys who are like, and you hear these stories about people that are like insane practice players. It's not a matter of necessarily, they don't play well in front of a crowd or they don't play well when it matters. It's like that small gym feel has been a factor in basketball for eternity.
Yeah.
And the bubble is being played in that. I just messaged our boy Andrew, and I told this to a couple people who reached out. I would go heavy on the overs. At least day one, day two, like first round of the series, I'd go heavy on the overs. Vegas will catch up pretty quick, the same way they did with the overs in the regular season when the bubble started. But I think you're going to see I think we're going to see 130 points scored in a first round playoff matchup.
Yeah.
That's unheard of in the past. Playoff basketball, defense gets tougher. I think you're going to see somebody score 130.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the games in the leading up to the playoffs were.
That's what I'm saying. And Vegas adjusted to that after a couple games. But I think Vegas has probably turned it down a little bit. factoring in playoff defense, but I think it's going to be surprising. I think we're going to have a lot of high-scoring games.
Well, the odds have changed with the 8 games that they already played in the regular season in the bubble. The Lakers have fallen now for Vegas on favorites. They're now third. The Bucks are the leading candidates to win it all at 5-2.
Wow.
The Clippers are 3-1. The Lakers are 7-2.
Wow.
Raptors are 10-1. Rockets are 13-1. Celtics are 17-1. Nuggets are 24-1, and the Heat are 30-1.
Can you go back down? Can you start like the third, fourth teams again? I want to get to some of this. I want to figure out my value bet.
Lakers are 7-2.
Yep.
Raptors are 10-1.
I like that, but I don't love it.
Rockets are 13-1.
I like that, but I don't love it. Like if the Rockets were in the 15 to 20 range, I'd be interested.
17-1 Boston.
I don't hate that.
Nuggets are 24-1.
I do like that. Like I like I'm looking for value.
Yeah.
Who else? Who's after the Nuggets?
The Heat at 30.
That's reckless.
And then Denver's at 49-1.
Denver? I thought you said the Nuggets already. Can you give me the Nuggets at 24? Who's 24-1?
I'm sorry, Mavericks.
At 24-1.
No, Mavericks are 49.
Oh, I love the Mavericks at 49.
Nuggets are 24-1.
Just value wise, like I might put $20 on the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Just for fuck it. What if Luka loses his mind for 3 weeks?
What do these guys do when they're not playing games?
Chilling, fishing in the pond that they stock with fish, riding fucking Disney rides, I guess. Who knows?
Well, they could bring in more people for the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was no side chicks.
Right.
So basically,
no chicks. They specifically said no chicks you've never met before that you met on the internet. They're basically saying you can't bring Instagram hoes to the bubble. Meanwhile, Instagram hoes are like, NBA playoffs are the fucking time of the year that we do most of our business. This is the big fourth quarter for us.
Yeah.
Instagram hoes are spinning right now.
You got to love this. I mean, this is all true. So the NBA negotiated these terms with the players. You're only allowed to have guests in the bubble for the playoffs who were deemed as holy, or I'm sorry, they preclude that you cannot have guest casual relationship, including, this was written, I love this was written in the documents, in quotes, known by the player only through social media or an intermediary.
No Instagram hoes. It's the no Instagram hoes clause.
Those without an established pre-existing personal and known relationship won't be allowed into the bubble because each second-round playoff team has been allocated 17 hotel rooms for guests. So once the second round even hits.
Love it.
Hey, Instagram hosts, you've been canceled.
Yeah. Oh, man. They're just spinning right now. What are they doing? They're like, God, how do I make money this year? I can't con an NBA player into giving me cash so his wife doesn't find out about me.
I think I want to become an Instagram model.
You should.
I'm serious.
Okay. You're going to have to get into better shape.
That's fine, but like,
That's fine.
Can I be like a comedic Instagram model?
Sure.
Where I am in great shape, but I'm also doing ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Go for it. Get invited to the WNBA bubble for the second round of the playoffs.
They don't want they don't want people like me.
No.
They want chicks.
Hey, Andy, not all WNBA players are lesbians. Canceled. Andy's been canceled.
I think we've talked about this before, but I'd rather have my daughter be a stripper than an Instagram model. I don't know.
At least she's
like, what would
you open about her.
What would you choose?
Well, I mean, look, I think there's a blurry line here. Instagram model is a very broad term, right? There are the girls who are Instagram models that are selling like coconut water and yoga pants, right? And then there's Instagram models who are just thirst traps for rich dudes.
Thirst traps.
I think I'd rather I think I'd rather my daughter be a coconut water selling Instagram model than a stripper, but I'd rather her be a stripper than an Instagram prostitute.
Dude, I'll be honest. If you're a woman out there, like,
So many avenues.
it's true though. If you're a woman in 2020, you don't even have to particularly be that attractive. If you get in awesome shape, which you can do at a very low cost, if you're a woman and you get in great shape,
They don't even need it. They don't even need to be in that good shape. You could just be like kind of cute and into like some random thing. You're just like you're like a mid cute chick, and you're like, but I'm super into skateboarding. They're like, oh, she's the hot skateboarder chick.
there are so many horny, thirsty dudes out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't actually. This would be. I would love to know this. If you looked at Instagram as a whole, what percentage of, let's say there's a billion, I don't know if you use the term followers, billion people on Instagram. What percentage of those people are
Users, yeah.
active users? That's a better way of putting it. Let's say there's a billion active users.
It's probably more than that, but yeah, okay.
I'm just tossing out a number.
Sure.
What percentage are following an Instagram model, or what percentage of the post on Instagram model are likes of horny dudes or thirsty dudes following Instagram models?
Dude, just read any of the comments. Any of them. Yeah. I love you. All those, like, and I think the weirdest people in the world are the people who write a public comment. That's the great thing. That's the one thing that Twitter has over everything else is, like, when a guy writes his horny post, like the number of GIFs and, like, horny, your horniness is out of pocket memes that people get replied to is great. There's one the other day I saw Halle Berry put up a picture of her birthday. For her birthday, she's like 54, never felt better. And some guy underneath is like, he's like, I'm in love with you. I can't wait to lay you down and marry. And like 200 people under this, like your horniness meter. And like I love people getting called out on Twitter for their horniness.
That's what I'm saying.
Amazing.
Like,
but on Instagram, people just like, you can't reply with the GIF. You can't reply with the meme.
And then also, the fans only.
Yeah.
Has now become
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I always fuck that up. Has become such a thing.
Fans only? I don't know. You've got me fucked up now. I think it's OnlyFans, right? Fans only? I don't know. Who fucking knows?
OnlyFans. Maybe that's what I'll do. I bet you I can make a lot of money off gay dudes' OnlyFans account. I bet we both could.
I mean, you told me the last episode we had a guy just talking about my package.
He's in here again today. It just says Joe with the giant heart. One of the comments. Yes, somebody just is sizing up your package.
These these green shorts. Now I'm a little uncomfortable about.
I love this shirt, by the way.
Your chili shirt.
It's so great.
Well, a dirtball sent you that and sent me one. I mean, they're awesome.
Was it Zach?
Yeah, I think so. He sent me one that's the Mets logo. It says Meats.
Yeah.
And the Reds logo, it says Chili. It's awesome.
Zach from Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we were contacted about an OnlyFans account for Dirty Sports.
Oh, really?
I'm not joking.
And what does that even mean?
They're clearly messaging God knows how many people.
Yeah.
Somebody emailed me. It was like, oh, you guys should create one for your podcast. And I'm like.
And then what? We put up.
Nudes of us.
Nudes?
I don't know.
Hey, man. If we can make some dough. In these corona times, anything you can do. I mean, I'm assuming that people also use it for, like, private content, right? Like, I don't know. Who knows?
I feel like the OnlyFans is...
Isn't every single Dirty Sports account an OnlyFans? Do we have anybody following us that's not a fan?
I mean, I almost wanted to respond, well, we have Venmo, and people know our Venmo.
Yeah, which is at Andy Ruther and at Joe Prano.
Andy Dash Ruther.
Andy Dash Ruther and at Joe Prano. Are you Andy Dash Ruther or Andrew Dash Ruther?
Andy.
Andy Dash Ruther. And at Joe Prano on Venmo.
I didn't even know you could change it.
Can you change it?
Yeah, because I was Andrew forever. So then I just went to Andy. Because
nice.
people would say, I can't find your Venmo. And I'm like, it's okay.
Mine was just always Joe Prano. I never had a dash or nothing. I love it.
Yeah.
Finally got on one social media early enough to get at Joe Prano.
You see Ja Morant had a broken thumb the last 4 games?
I love Ja Morant. I mean, I think I've been
Ja Morant greater than Ja Rule.
Yeah, I think I was on the Ja Morant train like relatively early, saying I was like desperate to have him as a Knick. I would have taken him over Zion. I just think he is going to change that Memphis. I mean, year one, they're a bubble. They're on the bubble of making the playoffs. They got in the play-in game. I love that dude.
Well, he's a modern day NBA player.
He's just so athletic. He's such a great passer. He is exciting. His teammates love him. He brings he's outspoken. He brings a great passion. Supposedly he wanted to wear a fuck 12 jersey at one point, which is like I would have bought that. I would have bought that jersey in a heartbeat. I might fucking have it. I might have it custom made for me. His number is 12, and fuck 12 is fuck the police, basically.
What does the police have to do with 12?
I don't fucking know, but it's the fucking police. And he supposedly just wanted to put his top as fuck and then just wear his number.
But the police are 5-0.
There's a lot of different things for police. I forget what the 12 is, but it's definitely a police thing.
I think that's a dig at Seattle fans.
Why? Oh, the 12th man?
No, there's that Texas A&M.
Yeah. Well, Seattle's a 12th man too, right? And Texas A&M?
Yeah, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I told you my thing would say I eat ass.
Strong play. It's not, I'm a big fan. I've said it before of Education Reform Moore Senior. That's a solid jersey.
Education Reform.
Education Reform Moore Senior. But fuck 12 would have been banana land. I might have to get one. I have to get a throwback Grizzlies fuck 12 jersey.
But you look like an asshole wearing that.
Okay.
Anybody, I'll just say, I think people that wear shirts with profanity on it, they're kind of assholes. I think you look like an asshole.
Okay.
That goes for anybody. What was the woman wearing on my flight from St. Louis to L.A.? I just was like...
You literally just said you wanted one that said, I eat ass.
Yeah, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, okay. Just so we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
here.
I'm an asshole. At least that one's kind of funny. I don't know. Like she was wearing a give 0 fucks shirt, and I was like,
0 fucks given?
Yeah.
Give 0 fucks. It's the whitest shit I've ever heard. Give 0 fucks, people.
Man, this is what I told you, man. You can't put a game on with me because of my mind.
I love it. I am so excited for NBA playoffs. I really am.
You know what you need? You know what you need to make this this NBA experience even better, Joe?
What's that?
A cold Miller Lite, maybe. After the game.
I think you're right. I think I do need a cold Miller Lite to make this experience better.
I know you've been drinking Miller Lites during the bubble. You're going to continue to drink them during the NBA playoff bubble. The official beer of our podcast.
The official beer, the presenting sponsor of the Dirty Sports Podcast. They present this show, and as I said in our pre-roll, they present this Joe. I mean, it is the fuel that keeps Joe Prano running. I love it. We're experiencing a heat wave. It's hot. Nothing better during a heat wave than cracking open a nice ice-cold beer. And, Andy, read me the stats on the carbs and the calories, because here's the thing about Miller Lite. I drink beers of different shapes and sizes. I like different styles of beer. But the thing about Miller Lite is you can drink a few of them and not feel bad about, I put on this many calories, this many carbs.
Miller Lite, great taste with only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. However you and your friends are enjoying Miller time this summer, you can have the original light beer delivered by going to MillerLite.com/dirty sports and find the delivery options near you. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12
I got to say,
ounces.
a shout out to Miller Lite. One of my favorite Miller Lite commercials, and I won't say, I mean, it's their commercial, but there's one commercial where a guy brings a different, sort of light, like a healthy beer to the counter, and the guy behind the counter goes, Miller Lite's just got only 2 more calories, right? And the guy goes back, and he comes back with Miller Lite. It's like, it's so great. It's not a healthy beer. Like, they're not trying to market it like it's some sort of thing, but it's just a nice light beer, low on calories, low on carbs. If you're going to sit and watch the NBA from 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., and you're going to drink beer the whole time, it's really reckless to drink anything besides Miller Lite.
Well, and also, again, we have our own URL.
If you can't leave the house right now because you're watching the NBA, but if you're listening to this, you go, I'm watching the NBA, I'm listening to the Dirty Sports, I want Miller Lite, but I can't stop watching the NBA, go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports. Have it delivered.
Yeah.
I mean, go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports and just explore delivery options, where you can buy it in your neighborhood. Stop going around the whole town looking in stores where Miller Lite is. Go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports. It'll tell you where the Miller Lite is.
Exactly.
It's like a Miller Lite finder.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It gets me excited. I'm now like I just want to wrap up the show so I can watch basketball all day and drink Miller Lite. MillerLite.com/dirty sports. If you care about Joe Prano as a person, you go to that URL immediately.
Let's talk a little NFL.
Let's do it. What's going on in the NFL?
Well, there's some big signings. We'll get to those first. Big tight end signings.
Not signings as much as extensions.
Yeah, little George Kittle.
George Kittle, what was it, $75 million a year for 3 years?
And Travis Kelce were the big ones that happened since our last episode. So the George Kittle deal is 75.
I like the George Kittle deal. He puts up wide receiver receiving numbers. He's a great blocker.
Yeah.
And it's 3 years.
A total of 6 now.
Right, they extended him.
Yeah.
But the 3 years of the big money at the end is like great.
Yeah, he gets $40 million guaranteed.
It's awesome. I love the George Kittle deal. I mean, what's the Travis Kelce deal?
$57 million for 4 more years.
Totally reasonable as well.
Yeah.
I think, especially, I'm surprised Travis Kelce seems like a good dude, though.
Ohio boy.
Right after George Kittle signs a significantly larger deal for him to, but I think he knows where his bread is buttered, if you will. Got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Take your $57 million, be happy.
Sure.
Because Patrick Mahomes is definitely the kind of guy who will turn. And Kelce was good with Alex Smith. Kelsey's a good tight end. No doubt about it. But I think they were like, look, man.
Who's better?
I think Kittle's better.
Yeah.
I think Kittle's better just from the dual threat standpoint. Like Kittle, I don't know who it was last year. Somebody called him out as like a weak blocker. And then it seemed like every week they went out of their way to show like a Kittle pancake block. Like he's definitely a great blocker and a great pass catcher.
Yeah.
And way more so than Travis Kelce, he's kind of one of the focal points of their offense. Kelce's a focal point of the Chiefs' offense, but obviously Patrick Mahomes is going to spread the ball around, turn mediocre receivers into great receivers, which the great quarterbacks do. We're not sure if Jimmy Garoppolo is there yet. He certainly, no one's really at the Mahomes level, but I'm not sure Garoppolo's at that quarterback level where, you turn nobodies into somebodies.
Yeah, I think they're 2 good deals. And you just mentioned Alex Smith. He's officially been cleared to play.
Well, he's been cleared to resume football activities.
Talk about an amazing story. I don't know if people fully realize.
Yeah, I believe he had, 17 surgeries or something like that?
He had 17 surgeries.
That's crazy.
I don't know if people realize it wasn't just that he possibly could have his leg amputated, there was legitimate fear for his life.
Yeah.
Because it was so jacked up, his leg. 17 surgeries. Now, he's 36 years old, and
I mean, it's making my knee hurt just thinking about it.
the Redskins have the Washington football team has Haskins and Kyle Allen. So I don't know if they're going to keep
Does
him.
Haskins have to change? He has skins in his name. Does he have to change his name as well?
It's just now Dwayne Hask.
Yeah. Dwayne Haas, formerly the quarterback formerly known as Haskins.
So I don't know if Alex Smith is actually going to play on their team, but now if I'm him, I don't
You don't want to play football ever again.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I think it's such a great story.
Seems like he does want to play football again.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's an inspiring story for anyone. So cool to come back from that. I've watched a lot of the videos. I mean, it's tough to look at some of those pictures of his leg.
Yeah. It's gross.
It's horrifying. But to bounce back from that.
I just the idea of 17 surgeries is crazy. I mean, I had one surgery. I'm literally still recovering. I mean, yesterday I was moving. I was lifting some heavy stuff, and like today, I'm in serious pain again.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea of he wasn't that much earlier than me. Like, when did he get hurt? He missed all of last season.
All of last season. They were sick.
He got hurt at the end of the season before.
Well, they were 6-3 when he got hurt.
Right.
Because they were on target to make the playoffs, and that was the thing. They ended up just all these scrubs at quarterback.
Right. That was 2 seasons ago, though.
2 seasons ago. Correct. And I don't know. He still wears something on his leg.
Yeah. Some compression, sleeve, pant-looking thing.
Because I don't know if you saw the Instagram. Like his wife they threw a big party.
Yeah.
That now he's been cleared to play. I don't know. I would have too much PTSD to step on that field. Now he was a mobile, athletic quarterback.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified.
And again, he's just resuming football activities. That's different than being cleared to play tackle football.
Yeah.
Football activities mean running, throwing.
Yeah.
You know, doing all that stuff. Who knows? But I imagine at his recovery rate, if he's cleared to resume football activities, he's only a couple months away from being cleared to play football.
Well, my recommendation for Alex is this. You're still healing your leg. You need to smoke some Cushy Dreams.
I think if he had been smoking Cushy Dreams the whole time, it's safe to say 12 surgeries, 11?
Yeah.
Not 17.
No. Cushy Dreams specializes in extraordinary CBD-rich hemp flower, a.k.a. bud, and pre-roll CBD joints. Trust me, Alex, would have made you feel a lot better.
Yeah.
CBD in that Cushy Dreams. It's cannabis that ships directly to you, and it's legal in all 50 states, Joe.
I am well aware.
If you're sick of using the vape pen or gummies and you want to smoke some CBD rolled as joints, or you just get the flower, they'll ship it directly to your house, which I love. The pre-roll joints, that's what I have. I love. I've smoked the Relax, the Dream. I like to have a more mellow CBD experience, especially after I run. My foot is still jacked up, for real. I don't know. Like I said, I probably need an MRI. That's why I've been.
They have the prepackaged eighths. I've been smoking little bowls of the CBD, and it's heavy CBD.
It is.
There's a lot of CBD in there. A lot of these other companies, a lot of these other ones that you get, it's like, oh, we've turned down the THC and we just kept the CBD. These are CBD packed.
Yeah.
Bud, and I love it.
So get you some Cushy Dreams. Go to cushydreams.com. That's KUSHY dreams.com. And at checkout, use promo code DIRTY for 15% off your first order. Smoke your CBD. Once again, that's cushydreams.com. Promo code DIRTY for 15% off your first order. My favorite story in the sports world lately has been this Seahawks player getting cut for trying to disguise his girlfriend.
Yeah. And he tried to disguise her. It said, what's funny, what I liked, is it said that he tried to disguise her as a player. What does that even mean? Did he try to sneak his girlfriend in shoulder pads and a helmet? Because maybe that's what set off some alarms. It's like, hey, you're not at the field. Who is this person coming in looking like one of the little giants swimming in their shoulder pads?
Well,
Is that the Terminator?
The GIF which I love is everyone's using from I don't know if it's Scary Movie 1 or 2 with Shawn Wayans.
Yeah.
You know, because he's like gay, but he's not known gay. You've seen this, right?
Yeah.
Where he gets his girlfriend putting on
Shoulder pads and
a helmet.
I love it.
Once again, dude, it just goes back to horniness, man.
Yeah, horniness meter pinned to the right.
Dudes, we ruin our lives. Men in general, like, it all goes back to sex.
I mean, the horniness factor out of control on this guy, just trying. But he's a rookie, right? Wasn't he a rookie?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, how are you not just like keeping it between the lines the very first week of your very first training camp during coronavirus?
Yeah.
Bro, your horniness meter is broken.
I feel like, you know what, though? This needs to be talked about more. The horniness factor is kind of, maybe that's the problem with this whole COVID situation. You see it with guys going to nightclubs. Horniness, they're ultimately trying to get laid.
Yeah.
Guys going to casinos. Like, I'm talking with the athletes. You see it with the bubble now. You see it with guys trying to sneak girls in. Like, how many of these COVID-related issues, at the center of it, has to do with dudes trying to get laid?
And that's why it's just hilarious. Again, the college football, we go back to the college football argument. When are you more horny than when you're in college? Like, the idea of playing college football and having rosters of, like, I think there's like 100 guys on the roster. Not all of them dressed, but there's like 100 dudes.
Yeah.
What percentage of 100 college dudes are going to be able to make it through seasons without the Hornets? I mean, this is one guy on a 50-man NFL roster. His livelihood on the line. He's now out of a job. Fired. Horny.
It's so true. And I believe in this, by the way. I believe in a lot of different like aspects of psychology. And that was kind of Freud's thing, if you follow anything of Freud. And I'm not saying it's the only. Freud's thing was kind of like satisfaction is the ultimate need that we strive for as humans. And I'm not saying it's only that, because I don't think it is. But I think that need and that want for men, even subconsciously, is so.
And because that guy's probably like, why am I even playing football and making money if I can't get laid? What's the point of all this?
Yeah.
So my dad could have a trophy on his wall?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that, Dad.
But that's what I'm saying. We all want to make money. We all want to have nice clothes, nice cars, whatever. Ultimately, it's to impress somebody, to get laid. Like, I believe that.
Certainly of guys of a certain age. You know what I mean?
But even of our age. I think it's not even a blatant thing. I think it's a subconscious thing. You want those things to impress somebody to have sex. It's not even an overt thing that you're consciously thinking about. And I think that's what we're seeing in all this stuff. I mean, there's been some crazy ways around. Have you seen the massage therapist in the bubble? Have you heard about this?
No.
So apparently the massage therapist in the bubble.
Of the NBA.
Of the NBA.
Yeah.
I think the players had some sort of say in that. They're all like 10s. But, like, they're finding ways around it.
Yeah.
Like you know, a lot of good massage therapists are like, they're either men or just like bulky Russian women. No.
I got it. People feel free to reply however you want. I am totally okay when I go to get a massage when they're like, it's a guy. I'm like, I just want the best person here. I'm here for a massage.
Okay, yeah.
If it's a dude, it's a dude. whatever. Like my physical therapist that I'm working with, Cooper, he's a dude. Gives me knee massages. I'm totally fine with it. Like, give me the best massage I can get.
Now, I prefer a woman.
I just don't want some dainty woman. Like, you better be able to give me a good massage.
I feel it. Now, I've had massages from men. I definitely prefer women. What I miss is that massage place across the street from me where they would literally kill you. You'd walk on your back.
Oh, I love that.
The Chinese ladies across the street.
Yeah.
It was pretty shady, by the way. It was there forever.
Yeah, still open at midnight?
It just said massage.
Yeah.
Now, I never got a happy
The blinking open sign at late at night in Venice?
I don't know. I never got a happy ending.
Yeah.
But it was cheap. They didn't speak a word of English, which I liked. And
which I liked.
And it was deep and intense. But yeah, that's what's going on in the bubble. But it goes back to all this, man. Like, dudes are just so horny that there you go. They're letting it ruin their careers. You want the full experience.
I'm horny for the NBA. I had to move a Lite.
You want the full experience.
That's a nice double clutch dunk. God. The NBA, it's fantastic.
I mean, we haven't even really talked about Jokic. I love these guys that just transform their body.
Like
during quarantine.
Let's talk about you brought up Jokic. Let me just I know I've beaten this like a dead bush. I mean, Jokic is playing at as high a level as anybody in the league right now, would you say? Like, I mean, he's dominating this game so far.
Yeah.
Jokic. Giannis. Luka.
It's all foreign dudes.
Porzingis. We're talking about that's just a couple of them. Embiid. Five of the premier players. Can you imagine? Can you imagine still being a person who's saying that 90s basketball was better than this? Can you imagine it? I'm just so embarrassed for those people at this point. I'm so embarrassed for those people. I had one of the dirtballs reach out to me because, and not the podcast that you're going to be thinking, but that one of the co-hosts of another sports podcast that we have done things with.
I think I know.
Is a 90s basketball stan. I mean, I'm just saying, 3 of the major LA-based sports podcasts, 2 of them are heavily rostered with guys who believe that the 90s is the peak of the NBA. In case you were wondering which podcast should be at the top of your LA comedians-based sports podcast list, The Dirty Sports is the only one that doesn't have 90s basketball stands on staff.
That's sports gambling?
Yeah. So. And then, of course, you got punch drunk.
It's just look, I love.
It's the worst. It's honestly the worst take.
Well, look, I loved the 90s during the time. It was fun to watch. Like, and I still can enjoy reminiscing and going back, but
it's a proven thing at this point that 90s basketball wasn't just not the best time, arguably the worst. Overexpansion, a lack of foreign players, letting every high school player that seemed like they were possibly ever going to be a professional basketball player into the league, even though a very small number of them worked out. For every Kobe and KG and T-Mac, there's guys who just washed out and like embarrassed themselves at the NBA level.
I think it was more of early 2000s, though. The Darius Miles, the Kwame Browns.
But I'm saying that whole era, the late 90s, the early 2000s, the overexpansion, no foreign players, high schoolers that didn't belong.
The foreign players have been a game changer.
Dude, look at what we're talking about. Of the best 10 NBA players, how many of them are foreign, you think? 4?
The 10 best?
Yeah. The top 10 players in the NBA right now. Luka's in there. Giannis is in there. That's 2.
So you have 2.
Jokic isn't a top 10 NBA player.
He's right. I mean, if not, he's on the verge.
KP's probably is, I would say, not a top 10 player.
No.
But
because if you're going to go top 10.
If you're going to go top, KP's probably a top 20 NBA player.
Because if you're going to go top 10, let's add the non-foreign. You have LeBron, Harden,
Anthony Davis, Kawhi.
Kawhi. So you got 4 right there. So we're at 6. Where are you putting Westbrook?
Not in the top 10, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the foreign guys can play, and they're fun. I mean, imagine Giannis when he gets a jump shot. Good luck. Because he's gonna win the. How can Giannis not win the MVP? His numbers are even better this year.
Yeah.
He's gonna win back-to-back MVPs, and he might win Defensive Player of the Year.
And by the way, good luck with Giannis and Luka. Good luck to Americans winning MVPs for how long? The next decade?
Luka's in his 2nd year?
Yeah, dog.
2nd year.
He's 20. 21, something like that. Good luck. Rudy Gobert?
Yeah. I mean, it's real. I forget which NBA draft it was. Was it 2 drafts ago where the majority of the first round were non-Americans taken?
Yeah. Just imagine. Imagine when the single foreigner in the NBA was Rick Smits and arguing that was
Rick Smits
and arguing that was the best
Bloody
era of
Divac.
yeah. Good players, by the way.
They were good.
Great players. But
Rick
Smits didn't get a single MVP vote in his career.
It is funny looking at the foreign players from the 90s.
It's all just big, tall guys who they were like,
Detlef Schrempf.
you can't teach 7 foot, basically. And then the Detlefs and the Tony Koo coaches and the whatever, those are the guys that were the blueprint for 30 dudes in the NBA now.
Drazen, had he not tragically died, was on a good
But
trajectory.
the shooter, and that is what we got from the European influx. We got a little bit of softness. We got a little bit of flopping. But we got everybody has a jump shot.
Sure.
Everybody. And that translates to guys, American players, having to adjust their game. And then now those big guys. I mean, you look at a guy like Brook Lopez. He's had to add that as part of his game. He wasn't shooting 3-pointers.
No.
I would predict that Brook Lopez has shot more 3-pointers this year, and at the very least this year and last year, than every other single season of his career combined.
I'd agree. I bet that's probably pretty close. Yeah, it's just so important. What's crazy about the European players to me is it doesn't always look smooth, but it works, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like Ginobili to me was never fluid and smooth. Did you think he was?
Yeah, but in his own kind of way. He was also like he had a little bit of a wrecking ball kind of approach, but I mean, one of the early Euro steppers.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's interesting, a lot of these guys come from shit situations as well in poor countries.
Yeah.
So like you think of the American NBA player, you think of somebody who grew up with a rough upbringing, came from bad circumstances. I think it's very similar to these guys. Like, dude, if you ain't playing in the NBA and you're from one of these war-torn, like, Serbia, Yugoslavia countries, like, that's what you can do to get out.
I love this Nuggets look.
Yeah. Well, we don't have really any calls that I want to get to today, but we do have a hotline, 310-359-8365. If you guys want to share any of your thoughts, give the hotline a ring, and we'll wrap it up. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Dirty Sports. You can follow me at Andy Ruther. Joe has an Instagram and Twitter as well.
At Joe Prano on Instagram, at Joe Prano on Venmo, at Fix Your Life on Twitter. Yeah, follow me, rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Go to dirtysports.com or go to millerlite.com/dirtysports. Use all our sponsors. Use all our promo codes.
It's all in the description.
Do all our things. Bet the overs on some basketball games.
Perfect.
That's my advice. So this is me giving back to you. Bet the overs.
And we will set up some live YouTube broadcasts.
Yeah. What series are you most interested in watching of these first round? That Lakers Portland series? Is that you? Is that where you're on that? You're on that tip?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a really good series. I also like.
I'm kind of bonering out for
Dallas.
Clippers Mavericks too. Chris Wild's gonna hate to hear this, and he's not gonna want me on his live clipcasts. But I'm a huge Mavericks fan right now.
The Clippers are too deep.
But it's the bubble. Anything is possible.
Yeah, those are the two LA series I like forward to, and also OKC Houston.
Yeah.
Basically, nothing against the East, just the West. How's Quinn Snyder handling no cocaine in the bubble? You can just.
Are we sure that there's no cocaine in the bubble? I mean, it is Florida.
True.
How many places on the Disney campus do you think cocaine has been stashed in the past and forgotten about?
Ooh, it's a good question.
You dressing up like Chip and Dale and working like 12 hours in some Florida heat without a little blow in your system? There's cocaine on that campus.
Yeah, I agree.
You ever seen how perky the Disney princesses are?
Yeah, it's true.
You got to wear like a 7-layer Alice in Wonderland dress out in the Florida summer. You're just happy all day. Chicks on blow.
Yeah.
I think Quinn Snyder's got to hook up.
Why am I like attracted to that? That's really weird.
What?
A coked out Disney princess. I'm like, that's getting me horny.
Horniness meter.
Literally, you're talking about a coked out like Jasmine. I'm like,
Can we do something about the horniness meter as our title? You're always asking me the second I leave. Think about a title. I almost never give you one.
I think we got to do something with horniness meter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true though. We'd always say in school, we'd say, "You get me fired up in my pants."
This is the Miller Lite commercial I was talking about.
Yeah, it's a great commercial.
I love this commercial.
It's a great commercial.
With the what's the guy from Hamilton? That little knockoff Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
They have a little budget.
Yeah.
If you blur your eyes, it looks like him behind the counter.
Now I'm horny just from talking about how easily dudes get horny.
Bro, you need to.
Horniness meter 1,000. I need to end this episode. Guys, thanks for listening. Have a great week. Try to keep that horniness meter in
I'm
check.
horny for the NBA. My horniness meter's out of control for this Nuggets game.
We'll be back on Thursday. Stay smart, stay safe, and as always, stay dirty.